Yeah, real quick, Stephanie, the real clarification I just heard from the mayor that the bill was signed into law about 2 hours ago. So we'll see how things work out relative to how fast that money goes.
Sure.
With that said, Stephanie, I understand, at the very beginning of this, you tried your hardest to stay open, to not only provide services to your customers, but also to keep your employees, the paychecks coming, the money coming in. Please just tell us how you've been since.
Yeah, so, essentially for us, we shut our doors the 22nd of March. At that point, it was determined safety-wise, financially unfeasible, all those things factored into our decision. And it wasn't hard. I mean, based on everything we're reading, it wasn't getting any better, and it was certainly getting worse. As anybody that's ever been in the back of a restaurant knows that the kitchen is comprised of basically stainless steel. So based on what you're hearing about virus and how it's landing and how long it stays, that was out. And then everything else, it was just not a thing that we felt was going to work for us in the long term. So we just stopped right then. In retrospect though, you start wondering, you hear all these other places are still open, they're doing takeout, and you're wondering, did you make the right decision? Every day you think, have I made the right decision? Because we're still able to do takeout, but everybody that understands Dixie Cream and our model, that's really a small percentage of what we do. We're not recognized like that, like that, but it adds on to the bottom line. So for that time, we were faced with, what do we do? And right now we've learned so much more. Testing has increased. The ability for us to understand what safety measures need to come into play. But I think we're a ways off for us. And I say that with complete transparency. I'm not going to play the game of, what do you think? I mean, I'm asked all the time. Of course, the community, everybody around us has been so supportive that when we do open, I feel very grateful that we're going to have a lot of effort behind that move. In the interim, we've just got to kind of hang, and that's what we're doing. But we've had a lot of good suggestions. We've had business revision ideas. We're excited about those things that I think that we were lacking anyway. We are given a lot of time now to put those things into play and really study that, how it affects the community and how they can be involved. Kids are going to be home for the next 3 months. Tailor the menu that's going to appeal to the kids and make it financially comfortable for the pocketbook, a quick in and out situation. There's a lot of work to be done, a lot of work. And I do think, and I was talking to, and I'll introduce you to the next two that are here from my restaurant, the health department is going to be involved, I would think, before distance dining is even allowed. So there's some lag time in there. So when people ask me, when do you think you're going to be able to open the doors? We'd love to have, your takeout again. We will do that, but we're not going to do it without complete safety. So I'd like to stop for just 1 second because I can talk. And I'd like to turn over to Jessie Nola, if she could say hi. Jessie's kind of everything with Dixie Cream. You've been with me, what, 5 weeks? It's a joke.
Jessie,
she's been with us almost 8 years.
Well, I think I might have her muted, so let me go ahead and unmute her.
Sorry.
Jessie, you can go ahead and unmute yourself if you need to.
Sorry, you could hear her through my phone, so that's why.
She's at table 2, and if you can see, we've got a few open in case, But anyway, she's I don't know, my wingman. So go ahead, Jess.
Hi. It's been a very interesting time. I mean, I support her decision about what she did. And like she said, it's very hard to watch like other places and wondering what you could do in terms of takeout or what we can offer. But we live in such a tight-knit community. Well, social distancing, everybody would try. We crave to be close to each other. We are a family, our community is a family. And even in that sense, it was hard just to keep separated. And I want us to be healthy. I don't want this to go on forever because I would like my job back. And I would like to see everybody and share it. Of course, it's scary every day, wondering what's going to happen. But if we all work together, and see the support in our towns and near and far, which we have through our GoFundMe and all those types of things, we know we'll get back. And it's going to be definitely different for a while, but it'll be worth it in the long run.
So thanks, Jesse. You got your job. We'll move on down the screen. You'll see a gal with the name Carina. And many of you may recognize Carina. She's been with me for quite some time. And she runs the barista station at the front. She takes care of guests to go orders. She answers the phone. She helps at the front door. She goes into the kitchen. So another great employee that has just hung with us. And I'd like to introduce Carina.
Hi. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for having me here. It's definitely difficult being away from the restaurant. I really miss being able to see all the community members that I've grown close with. But it definitely is for the best, considering the fact that a lot of our customers are usually elderly or they're older. And so seeing people social distancing is, I think, a lot better for a lot of our customers right now.
So you're a student, right?
I actually graduated in May.
And you're looking to, so this has impacted you how?
This has impacted me in the way that applying to law schools right now is a bit difficult, in that I don't know what is going to be in store for me this fall. I don't know how, if like in-person classes will even take place. They may be over like the computer, and going in as a freshman may be incredibly difficult. I know a lot of my friends that are currently still in college. They don't have a graduation. They are currently taking all their classes online. Yeah.
So financially, it's now
really difficult. Especially I'm paying back student loans. I mean, interest is being frozen, but still having to pay them back each month is quite difficult. I have some savings from working at Dixie Cream. However, I could see this, since this is going to be going on probably until later in the summer potentially, it could be potentially harmful to me paying those back.
Yeah. So just so you all know, we have 20 employees, not all full-time. We've retained all but 2. What I understand is one has moved, the other one I really haven't heard from, but everybody's hanging tight, and I feel confident. I really do. The community, people from far away, people that we work all around, everybody's been a tremendous support to us. The GoFundMe was great. We wrote checks yesterday out of that GoFundMe, gave it all to the employees, and they were up here at 10:30 sharp. So you can start to tell when people are really starting to feel the pinch, the floorboards start to creak. You know, it's like, hey, I'm doing okay. But so you recognize the pain. But for us, as far as, I had a call today, when do you think you're going to open for takeout? And I said, I can be honest with you. Do you think by Mother's Day? And I said, nope, no way. We're potentially looking at another couple of weeks for sure. We got to ramp up. I got to get food in here. I got to get the kitchen all assembled again. It's almost like starting over in a way. And I will say, from a restaurant tourist possession or point of view, it's exciting in some ways. You know, we grouse about, oh, I don't have time to do that, and I don't have time to do this, but we have time now. So now it's time. We have to reinvent the wheel a little bit. Our hours may shift a little bit. Our product choices may shift a little bit. We may become a mini market in addition. You know, we might do things that we haven't done before because we didn't have time or whatever. And again, I can't reiterate enough how many people have really just jumped in and said, hey, if you need help. We had a suggestion from a mom today, said, you know, the kids are out of school for a couple of more weeks. Maybe they could do the drive up takeout orders. And I thought, no, we're not ready for that yet. But I appreciate the, just the thought, you know, in the phone call. And there's been many. So I want to thank everybody. And what else can I share with you?
You know, as a small business owner, what has been your experience on trying to access or gain funds from either the state or the federal government?
Well, not good, to be quite honest. I was hopeful. We've been banking as a business, as a corporation for a long time, as well as privately, and so we were in early. Application still hanging, but as I said earlier, with a disclaimer that you're not a guarantee. So we haven't been successful. And we've tried every avenue and we're not done. I'm the squeaky wheel. I am. And I'm on that phone and I'm talking to whoever I think might have a contact or a network, because when you start hearing around you, or for friends in South Florida, other people, hey, did you get your PPP? We did. And it's depressing, but you can't live in that world. And if you're going to live in that world and you're going to think you're going to get that, that's the wrong choice. What you got to think about is what's in front of you. That's how we're going to be successful. Not what's behind us, but what's in front of us. And what's in front of us? Who knows? It's the unknown. But we're going to prepare for what we can. We're going to take safety measures with the servers. We're looking to all kinds of things to protect them and the customers. I heard today isopropyl alcohol, you spray it on the table, the virus is eliminated, you wipe it down. So there's a lot of steps to be taken. And again, I want to say that I do believe that the Florida Department of Health, they won't have the manpower to do everything, but I don't think that restaurants are just going to unlock that door and say, hey, come on in. Right. I hope they don't. I hope they take protections.
Yeah.
But
yeah. The problem that we're hearing again from the governor's task force is, again, if you just do that turnkey, then it creates a distribution issue relative to, okay, everybody's gonna be ordering produce, everybody's gonna be, trying to get stuff from the same vendors. And not only that, but if there's going to be social distancing guidelines or healthcare guidelines, your access to PPEs. Right now, most states and local governments can't get their hands on those PPEs, whether it just be masks or hand sanitizer or even thermometers.
So let me just say one thing about that. I'm on the phone with my distributor today and asking him these questions. What do you have access to? What can I help our community with? Is there something we can get that they can't get, that they don't want to go into the stores, or the seniors in our area, the elderly? What can we do safely? Because I can still get distribution. In fact, I spoke with our distributor and I said, what's going on with Tyson? What's going on with Smithfield? Both two, we don't do with Tyson, but Smithfield we do, and it was one plant. So, you would hope that everybody else takes precautions. So talking to him about the waste and the pallets of food that they're trying to find food banks to distribute it to, and expiration dates are cropping up. My guy lost 80% of his business. Wow. So, that's the bad side of it. But the good side is if we can reinvent what we're doing and bring a truck in 2 weeks and get some of the staff back on and revise our model, I think we're going to come out of this okay. They talk about the fall, that we don't even want to talk about hurricanes around here right now. So,
well, hurricanes are only a couple of days. This has been a longer quarantine than anybody had, I think, ever expected.
Right.
Any guidance have you heard through the Department of Health as far as, what is appropriate social distancing? Are they looking at maybe doing outside dining only based upon the heat and the humidity, or are they looking at actually doing inside?
No, we have not heard anything yet. I do believe, just because I know how frequently they like to make a unannounced appearance, they're going to be, I bet they're going to be hiring quite a few people, to be honest with you. But I think the guidelines will come from them. I don't think that we're going to be able to make up our own. I certainly hope not, because I think you'll see people will just disregard. For us, I would actually say that we would live with a 6-foot distance dining in our restaurant. We've already mapped out the restaurants inside and outside. Wow. Again, we have to take into consideration the weather that's coming upon us. And that's why you have to really think about how can you leverage those times into another direction. So we're getting creative.
Yeah, and it seems like you're putting, you're not just sitting around, you're actually rethinking your business plan, already putting in some of those thoughts into place of how you would actually reopen. I think you're way ahead of a lot of other restaurateurs.
Well, yeah, I mean, within reason, right? So
Yeah, most of the people that we heard on some of the calls, you know, it depends on what your business model is. Again, the fast food industry is they're doing well because of the fact that that's what their model is. They're not inside of a actual dining
right.
restaurant. So
How
you see kind of
sickery
like
of
cages
how
in that.
sickery of well, waffle fries every day, but you know, I mean, overall, people are looking for some meals, and I know that with Dixie Cream, we can make it affordable. We're going to have a quick in, a quick out.
Yeah.
We have to be sensitive to the budget, so we're not going to be bringing in, you know, top dollar items, things that families can share, things that kids are going to eat. There's plenty of pizzerias and Italian restaurants that are great, that are doing, I don't know how well they're doing, but they offer that. So we hope to be of an assistance to all of that.
Okay. So this is a question for you and your coworkers. What keeps you up at night?
I think the question is what allows me to go to sleep. You know, I mean, I'm up pretty much. I have to say, quite honestly, what keeps us up at night is the unknown date of opening. That's the $1 million question. When do you think you're going to open? And you hear Disney and Universal and the big boys talking about, you know, what their plan is. And sure, that affects our business, but we're kind of cocooned in here a little bit. So I feel like we're going to have to walk before we run. And that's going to dictate what we can do 8 weeks, you know, softly. You know, we're going to progress softly and kind of take the lead from what we read and statistically. And as Mayor said, we've got to just watch what the statistics say.
Yeah.
And I'll take my cues from you all.
Okay. And how about some of the employees? What keeps you guys up at night?
Any one of you.
No, I mean, I guess it's, I just worry about what the world is really going to look like afterwards and how well we're going to adapt to it. Like, I really wish people would take the time and understand that nothing will be the same for a very long time, at least until there's a vaccine. I mean, we can adapt and we can work together and keep going, but it also doesn't help that we are close in at home. So like all we're seeing is just news article after news article and social media after social media. And you just have to be able to turn that off, or at least take it with a grain of salt. Because if you get so deep into that, it's insane. I was watching the news every day when this started, and it just eats away at you if that's what you're focusing on. So you need to remember the good, reach out to the people you still love, know that it will get better, but understand you are part of how to make it better and what can you add to the future, because it's going to be different. This is going to be in our history books and from years to come. This isn't a blip, but it can be a good thing.
And I know that the hospitality industry is a close-knit family too. Restaurants, bars, all sorts of different areas. What have your friends, colleagues, and other people that you've seen in the industry, what have they expressed as their concerns? What is their fears?
Have you talked to any of the servers elsewhere, Jesse?
Some. I've definitely talked to a lot of Disney servers and such like that. I have tons of friends that work in the theme parks, and I mean, their world is just completely turned upside down. Because how do you even socially distance at Disney World without insane precautions and like almost police style watching? So I know then they're worried about their families, because we know a lot of our cases came from theme parks and the ability to come from so many parts of the world. So they're just scared for their families mainly, and wondering what going back too soon would cause for them. But then again, they also need to go back. So it's just a catch-22 all around.
Yeah.
You know, when I think about some of the restaurateurs in the area, I do know that Feather and Quill just had recently renovated, and they were having a soft opening. They're just getting ready to, you know, take advantage of this wonderful season that we all look forward to, which is post-holiday, and you get right into just the restaurant. It's not catering, it's just the restaurant, seeing the snowbirds come down and familiar faces, and everybody's coming out of the woodwork. The weather's gorgeous. And, you know, and then it comes to a screeching halt. I feel for those people. I mean, I feel for them. And just having been in this business for a long time, I know what goes into it. You talked about distribution and ramping up. It's unfathomable for me to even think how that's going to affect the industry. I haven't really put much thought to. I don't want to be honest.
How long do you think that your business can maintain this hiatus without some sort of governmental assistance or some sort of opening?
I think we will be fine. I mean, I really do. I think that comes down to the crafting of a model that gives you an opening, a safe opening that gets you going. Some of the things you hear whispering around is, gosh, if I don't do anything, people are going to think I'm closed. And if I do something, is it too? I mean, it is crazy. All the talk that's going around between restaurants, and it's true. You know, we've closed our doors, so I don't want people to think that we're closed forever. This is something that we have to figure out. And I think people are willing to wait as long as they know what our ideas are. They don't want to see us go. They want us to see us stay.
Absolutely.
So how long? Throwing it out there, I'm hoping for us sometime in June, at least to get the doors open again. And then with the dining, I'd say for us, June, if we're safely able to do that, the numbers drop. But I do think that the Florida Department of Health is going to get in. I just feel that, you know, it's in my gut. How could they not, right?
Yeah. You said you had, what, 15 employees?
I have 22 employees.
22 employees?
Yes, all are still on board, except like I said, at least one out of the two, I know one moved and the other one I'm not sure of, but 20 people are hanging.
Yeah. So right now they're not getting paychecks, obviously, because.
Well, they got the GoFundMe, and some have gotten some stimulus checks, but the majority no. Again, it comes down to, did you file your taxes and did you file early, and all those things are coming into play now.
Yeah.
So, but that's why I say I've put a few to work. I've advanced some financials, but overall, I think for us, we're so fortunate. I can't emphasize this where we are. If we're out on Sand Lake, whatever, we're down 535, but we're here, and we're a very close-knit community in Windermere, and Dixie Cream has a pretty good family behind it too.
Sorry, I was getting text messages while I'm doing
From
this.
Bill?
What's that?
From Bill?
No, not from Bill. We get these Florida League of Cities alerts and stuff like that, so I didn't mean to interrupt your train of thought.
No, that's, I mean, I can yammer on and on, but that's essentially the bottom line for us.
Can you just, I mean, obviously, you know, with the difference in employees that you have, they have different situations. You have some that are single mothers, you have some that this is their only source of income. So I do appreciate that you did the GoFundMe page, and we're trying to, get the community together. I think you raised over $9,000.
I think we were at 9,100 this morning, and I've got one of our servers who's real familiar with the community. She's trying to hit up her big mimosa spenders that are here every weekend. So I sicked her on a few people. I said, come on, drive it home now. And, Kim, she's over there. She's like, offer them a free mug. And I said, they can have 4. They can have free mug, whatever. We just want to get to the, finish line. We want to look forward. We want to look forward with hope. And government or no government, I can't rely on that right now. If it comes through, we'll celebrate. But until then, we just got to keep going.
So do you think that amount of money would last them throughout June?
The GoFundMe?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gone. Yeah, that's spoken for. I mean, that was, for most of them, that was necessities that they weren't getting from the government. But then again, they all know, and I think we've all read those things that if you're hungry or if we don't have that situation, I promise you. But we do have people that are looking to have kids that have to, everything, insurance, mortgage, the whole thing.
Yeah.
So the money that they need to stay, busy or afloat is going to have to come from us, and we'll do our best to keep them here.
Well, I know kept you on for quite some time, and I'm going to go ahead and turn over some questions. I think the first one came from CT. Are you on?
Yeah, I'm on. Okay, so anyway, Steph,
Yeah.
this is when you really do appreciate living in a small town.
Yeah.
Everybody knows everybody. Everybody is family. And especially with your team, you know, they greet all of us and everybody knows everybody's name. It's one of those situations. So you and Dixie Cream are part of the fabric of this town, and we need to rally around you because you're the first one to step up to the plate when everybody comes knocking at your door for cookie drives, for Boy Scouts, for events, for anything. So the Wine and Dine Executive Committee got together, and we would like to give each one of your employees a $500 check. So we will work that through you. After this call, I'll call you and we can work through the details. So it's about a $9,000 grant that Wine and Dine is going to give to you.
Wow.
It's important.
You know, I'm a crybaby, so thank you.
Your staff deserves it, your team deserves it, and you deserve it. You're being proactive, you're doing everything you need to do, and we want to help keep Dixie Cream part of this community, and it's time to step up to the plate.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, and overwhelmed right now with that. You know how much we all love the Wine and Dine, and for Dixie Cream, I think we've been a participant. I remember the first one we did.
7 years.
Yeah, we had the windows open in the town hall, and it was right inside there.
You listened to my crazy idea and said, sure, I'll do whatever you ask.
Yeah, and it's fun. And last year, remember I said to you I wanted to add a dunk tank, and you said no dunk tank?
Yeah, no dunk tank.
No, I'd probably be in that the entire time.
Yeah.
A few of us in there.
Come on, we got to keep our dignity.
Right.
Anyway,
So it's a meaningful event for us, not just, I mean, exposure. We always find new people, but the fun. I mean, it's fun. And
Well,
that's what we all look forward to, is just seeing everybody in a good time. And I sure hope for 2021, but you know.
Well, we'll see. But you've been there for Wine and Dine, so it feels really good that we can help you during this time of your need. And
thank you on behalf of everybody associated in this restaurant. Thank you.
You're truly loved, you and the whole team.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, CT. Thank you for the Wine and Dine Committee and everything that you guys do. But 9,000 seems just like an off number. So based on what we've discussed with the Windermere Police Department Foundation, we're going to go ahead and round that number up to 10,000. So we'll be donating $1,000 to add on to Windermere Wine and Dine's 9,000. So the total that you'd be getting will be $10,000 from both Windermere Wine and Dine and the Windermere Police Department Foundation. Chief Ogden's on the line, Mayor's on the line, so we're all the officers and president. So hopefully that money will be able to keep you guys afloat, be able to pay rent, be able to buy food. But again, we're a community and we're all family. So anything that we can do as a community to help you guys out, please don't just ask, and we're going to be there for you.
Exactly.
Oh, you always are. I mean, Chief, amazing. Thank you so much. Extra meatballs at that luncheon next year.
And Molly, Debbie, are you online? Molly's
I
on.
all are online.
I'm on.
There you go. She's our CFO.
I see her name.
Anyway, we're going to have your back, Steph.
Thank you so much. I mean, I know that sounds pretty small, but it's extremely overwhelming. And thank you for everything.
No, thank you for providing a service to the town of Windermere. Again, you're a local restaurant. You've been there for so long, and it's just anything that we can do to help support each other through this time is greatly appreciated. And I think that's why we're such the community that we are, because we do take care of each other. So on Monday, I'll be able to deliver those checks to you in a safe way, by the way. So
I'll be here.
Contact us.
We did a drive-by the other day. They came up in their window and out they went.
yeah,
And, we've tried to distribute, like Kim got rid of, I should say, Kim distributed some eggs for us the other day. Thank you, Kim. And I promised some to Chief. We really, as far as, you know, we were pretty prepared with as far as the restaurant goes. So that money is going to go to the staff to keep them on board here. They are the best folks I can even talk to you about. So thank you from everybody.
Well, thank you, Stephanie. I didn't want to keep you on too long, and but again, thank you for being so positive and, you know, starting the GoFundMe to take care of your employees. Not a lot of companies are doing that, or what have you thought about that? They're looking at
I
their
had
own
somebody in my ear for a while there, and she's here on screen with us, so I have to give her a few props for that, because it wasn't something I wanted to do. You know, you're a little proud,
Yeah.
and you're a lot hopeful, and you think you entered into the criteria. I mean, you really think that you're going to hit a home run here with government, but again, it's just so new to everything, you can't. So
Right.
thank you, Kim, for directing me in that direction, seriously there. And thank you to everybody. I know everybody on here. Great.
Well, thank you, Stephanie. I really appreciate it. At this time, as we usually do, we're going to open it up to questions. I got a private message from Brandy about some things, and I'll take care of that, about the utility master plan and some of the Bessie stuff. So Brandy, if you can email it to me, I'll be able to go ahead and shoot it off to Wade Trim and also to KHA. Is there any other questions, comments, or anything for the good of the town right now? Chat box we usually keep open for about 30 seconds. All right, if not, anybody online? On the phone that wants to make any comments, suggestions? No? Again, Stephanie, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about how this pandemic has impacted your local business. Thank you again to Windermere Wine and Dine for your generous donation to Stephanie and her employees. I know it's much appreciated and it's much needed at this time. And again, for all of you out there, make sure that people know about these virtual town halls. Again, it's very helpful. Today it's a little heartwarming, but we're able to get you that information that you need directly from the sources, as opposed to getting it from either social media next door or something like that. So thank you for your time today, and we'll be back on Monday at 2:30. We were going to have Tony Spratt from Body Coach to give us some tips on making sure that our bodies are staying in physical shape during this time. And then we'll look for future guest speakers as well. And feel free to look back at some of the guest speakers we had in the past, whether it be the FBI, Pam Martini, we had Principal Greer, David Brinkerhoff, and we also had Dr. Visser, who would also give you some additional information. So thank you all again for attending this meeting, and have a great weekend, even though it's coming up to a rainy start. So
Good to see everybody.
See everybody Monday.
Yes.
Take care.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.